Hi everyone. Good evening. Guess who's back home? Just got here. Well, not just got here. We got here a little bit ago. Just got the kids settled though, and wanted to come on and discuss all of the things we didn't get to finish discussing because the cameraman showed once again the jurors on camera while grandma was walking to the stand. He actually was arrested shortly afterwards, and they switched over to pull feed cameras. But unfortunately, I had already shut off my live, and I know a lot of you guys probably already watched this. I do want to go ahead and watch the press conference, though, and the actual sentencing for the life sentence. We know that she was found guilty on every single one of the charges, and that she is basically done for, basically. So we are going to watch a few things, though. Hi, everyone. Hi, Bushes. Hi, Seal. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Hit the like button. Yes, that's right. Tap the like button. Come on in. Sit down. I just set up this live stream 3 minutes ago, so it's going to take a minute for notifications to come out. Um, so if you could hit the like button and help it out, it'll help spread the word and move the video around a little bit. And if you're watching on Facebook, welcome to the stream. Still take a second to hit that like book as well. I still have not reconnected my Twitch yet. I need to do that. But yeah, so let's take a look. Well, let's see. What do we want to watch first? Here we go. Here is them recommending life sentences. I know, yeah, it's just us girls. Give it a second. Like I said, I did not tell anybody that I was coming live except for Ringo. I did let Ringo know that I would
Good one.
be doing a live after I got home and got settled to kind of discuss this. I have to close out the case, right? I do. Uh, I have to close out the case. We're not going to just leave it hang and not close it out. So I'm glad to see justice prevailed and they did find her guilty despite my concerns. And God, I hope that they don't have to redo this. I know that there was a request for a new trial and things like that. We'll see how that all pans out. I feel like the defense in every case, though, they play those same games. They ask the same for the same types of question, or the same stuff. They do the same stuff in every case, and it never gets proved ever. So we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and watch this. This is her getting sentenced, and then we'll take a look at those press conferences that took place afterwards.
Once the jury is out of the courtroom there, we'll continue to watch and listen back in at this point.
All right. Ms. Boswell, in count one, the jury of your peers having set your punishment, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment. In count two, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment. In count three, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment. We'll have to set this for sentencing hearing where we'll deal with merger, other issues, as well as sentencing in counts 4 through 20. Does she waive the 45 days, Mr. Scott?
She does.
Sentencing in this case for May the 8th.
Judge, that is not good for me. I have a murder trial at Carter County the very next month.
It's not good.
May the 16th.
I expect the Carter County murder trial. We've got 2 weeks blocked off.
May the 23rd.
Yes, sir, I'll be here.
Sentencing will be held May 23rd. Pre-sentence report needs to be filed no later than April the 15th.
Judge, you have May the 22nd. Instead of the 23rd.
I do.
We'll use that instead.
We can.
Thank you.
They're good with the state.
Yes, Judge.
All right. May 22nd. We'll say at 1:30.
Yes.
At 1:30 p.m.
So that'll be whenever they decide if they're going to do her sentences concurrent or consecutive, the life sentences. And then they'll also deal with the sentencing for charges 4 through 20, which is all of the lies, the abuse of the corpse, and things like that. It's the three murder charges that she got the 3 life sentences. She could potentially, be in jail for, what is it, 153 years, with those 3 life sentences if they decide to do them consecutive, not concurrent. So,
Report by the Department of Corrections be filed no later than April the 15th. All right. Anything else we need to take up?
Nothing else to say.
Mr. Horn?
Yes, Judge. I think from this point going forward, since Mr. Scott was primary counsel in this case, I would make an oral motion to be relieved as co-counsel on behalf of Megan Boswell
All right.
going forward.
You'll be relieved. You are appearing as co-counsel pro bono.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court thanks you for your service.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Court will be recessed till Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. for the next trial.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, there we see the feed stopping there out of the criminal court.
okay, so that was the sentencing. So shortly after the sentencing took place, Megan Boswell's mom walked out of court and was arrested. For those of you guys who did not see that information play out, she was arrested on unrelated, previously, warrants that were outstanding and had nothing to do with this case. But I do find it kind of ironic that now Megan and mommy will get to be in jail together. So she can hang out with her there. And then let's see. The cameraman was put in jail. He is awaiting like a court date for that. I believe, let me see if I can see, March 7th, maybe. He was warned multiple times about where he was placing his camera angles and things like that, and he is in jail for up to 10 days. So, sucks to be him. I would have rather had these other cameras though, I'm just gonna say that. I like this. I could have zoomed in on Megan's facial expressions throughout the trial instead of us not seeing her. I imagine they probably also have a camera that faces the witness stand that we didn't get a chance to see, but I almost would have rather had this view instead of looking at the back of her head the entire time. So then after the sentencing, the prosecution held a news conference. So let me pull this up for you guys. Not sure how many of you watched this yet, but bear with me because I still want to watch it.
First started, and it's a lot of hard work by a lot of people. So it was very satisfying to get the jury's verdict.
Normally, we sometimes hear a victim impact statement in cases like this, and we didn't hear one.
Sound check. How is the audio? Is it low to you guys? Seems a little bit low. I only have it coming out of one earphone for me. Let me go ahead and just boost it.
This time, maybe a little bit from Tommy Boswell, but it seems like you are the advocates for Evelyn. What do you have to say about that?
That's a complicated question, to say the least. Obviously, there are a lot of emotions in this case. Even within the Boswell family. I mean, you all saw Tommy testify. I mean, his daughter was the defendant. His granddaughter was the victim in this case. A lot of emotions. Same thing with Angela. So, but we're fortunate, and I would be remiss without talking about the incredible work that was done by law enforcement in this case. And as a community, could not be prouder to have those folks who really, from the get-go, from the time she was reported missing, who've really been her biggest advocates during these 5 years, to see, ultimately what we realized here in the courtroom today, which was justice for everyone.
Even with that exhaustive investigation, all of the interviews, all of the forensic evidence that was gathered, Ms. Massengale even acknowledged we still may never know exactly what happened. Did you have to rely on the jurors' common sense and taking might be a shred of doubt and separating that from what reasonable doubt is in this case?
To some extent. I mean, I think always coming from a prosecutor, it's I guess easy to say, well, we think you should decide the case this way. But this really was, a textbook example of, just excellent police work. For us to be able to come into the courtroom, to be able to present a case where you really don't have direct evidence. I mean, we didn't have a confession. We didn't have a video of the crime being committed. He had to rely on a lot of circumstantial evidence, and as we argued during closing argument, you're going to have to use your common sense to fill in some of those gaps that were there. So yes.
General Massengill, during closing, you talked about the baby Evelyn mattered. Where'd you come up with that?
Because it's the truth. She mattered and she deserved to live, and I wanted the jury to know that.
How hard was it working on this case and seeing all those images, the baby in the trash can?
It's very difficult, and it's difficult to show something like that to a jury or to the public, but it's important that we show everyone what Megan Boswell did. It's difficult, but we're willing to do it to find justice.
Can you talk about the impact that this community has said these questions for 5 years now and finally have answers?
Right, and I think that was difficult. Unfortunately, we made some very purposeful decisions as we were prosecuting the case, which I think a lot of people kind of took umbrage with. We did not release much about this case on purpose because we wanted to try the case here in Sullivan County. And I think that caused a lot of heartburn among people not to have those answers, not to know that information about the case. And we, kind of told them just to be patient because we wanted to try the case in the courtroom. And we feel like that's what we did.
Was there a piece of evidence or something that you think really sealed the deal for the jurors on making this decision?
I don't know that there was any one singular piece of evidence. I think the difficult thing in this case really is those interviews with Megan and the fact that, her story kept changing, kept shifting. And, there were lots of little things, that kind of ruled other things out. But I think ultimately, it was a lot of her own words that were her undoing in this case.
And what about how the baby was found? That is something that I think has hit home, and you could tell from day one, from the images you showed, jurors were crying, she was crying.
Right.
What do you want to talk about when it comes to that?
I mean, it's disturbing. I mean, it truly is. And, we made a decision in trying this case because, there were a lot of charges. Obviously, the lies and stuff that she was telling the jury. We didn't want the focus of the case to be on that. I mean, to us, that was the easy kind of low-hanging fruit, so to speak. We wanted the focus to be on the homicide. We wanted it to be on Evelyn and what happened to her, and that was why we kind of hit the jury right in the face right out of the gate. And so, like I said, that was strategy on our part as far as, how we kind of put the trial together. We wanted them to, right from the get-go, know that this was a homicide case. This wasn't just somebody lied to the police case.
Megan will be eligible for parole when she's about 69 years old. As a prosecutor team, you asked for life without the possibility of parole. What is your take now that the jury decided to give her a chance?
You want to answer it?
We will continue to fight to keep her in custody until, for her natural life, if possible.
Can she face more years than that, though, with the other charges that she received?
She can. The judge will still have to sentence her on all the false report counts, the tampering, the abuse of a corpse, the failure to report charge. So, in theory, he could run those consecutive, and he could stack that time on top of what she's already received for the homicide.
Is that something you all get to urge him to do in
We
your
do.
sentencing report?
We do. There'll be a sentencing report, and then we'll have a sentencing hearing. That's what's set at the end of May, and then we'll go from there. Both sides will have a chance to argue what her sentence should be on those.
Do you know how many years she looks at for for those additional charges too?
Yes, the false reports should be looking at 2 to 4 years on those. The tampering charge will be 3 to 6, and I think the abuse of a corpse and the failure to report are both 1 to 2 years on those.
I know that law enforcement, even one of the agents or one of the people that testified said that everyone else was ruled out, including Hunter Wood. But clearly, whether it was in the community or certainly on the defense's strategy, that was an if that they wanted to put out there. How important were those text messages that you guys were able to put up, showing what was going on, what apparently was going on, at least in Hunter Wood's mind, as this child was now known to be missing?
All right, you want to comment?
I think they're very, very important. I don't know how you can overcome that in my mind. When we found those, I don't know there's an explanation, for them.
Was there anything else you all want us to know? I know it's been a very long, almost 2 weeks.
Well, like I said before, I mean, I think, if the community ever had any doubt about how hard law enforcement works, I hope they had a chance to see that in action in this trial, because like I said, you really could not have asked for any more diligent, exhausting efforts than what we saw from our local law enforcement here at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, TBI, FBI. I mean, it truly was a coordinated effort.
Is this the first time in a while too? I know that the judge mentioned it, but for you all, that a jury has been sequestered?
It was. I don't know that I was part of the last one, but I know it's been about 20 years since the last time we sequestered a jury. So, anything else?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was the prosecution, and now let me get the defense.
Asking that jury to show some mercy and some clemency and saying that she felt like Megan Boswell
Hi, Red Rock.
was redeemable. Talk about that that interview that she gave for you and her knowledge of Megan's character.
Well, obviously, Gail spent more time with her than I have in that type of situation. Most of my conversations, all of my conversations with Megan have been sitting in a jail cell talking about her case, but she seems to be a very positive person. She seems strong in her faith, and she's going to handle this, and she seems like she'll move through this adversity. She will have a chance to get out of prison when she's 69.
Yeah, I mean, did you feel like that was a win today, though? Being able, that she will possibly get out of prison?
I would say that obviously it was better than a life without sentence. Assuming she lives to be 69 years old, she will be released. So maybe she'll have some time at the end of her life to enjoy.
Is there something about cases that are this horrifying and go on for this long and get this much community attention that raises the possibility of a feeling of retribution in the community being higher than it might otherwise be?
Well, certainly, if you look at the comments on the news articles, Facebook comments, people seem to be very much up in arms over this case. It's a sad case. I know I've been criticized a lot in the media because of defending Megan, but everyone's entitled to a defense, and that's what I hope I provided her. I tried to do that to the best of my ability.
See, I have not criticized him at all. I mean, I'm sure he's probably not looking at the media as in this channel. I honestly commend him for doing the job that he did and presenting the defense that he did and representing her in such a way. He's exactly right. Everyone is entitled to into a defense. And one of the biggest things that I always get concerned about whenever you don't see them putting on much of a defense is the fact that, are they going to be able to appeal saying inadequate counsel at some point? Or that, I don't know, something along those lines. And so I'm thankful that he went out there and did the job that he did to the best of his ability without honestly like slandering a bunch of people or trying to say hurtful things about other individuals or anything like that. I feel like sometimes the defense attorneys turn into complete and total slime balls towards other members of the family or um, towards the public, like people who are innocent. Well, I do think that the questions that he raised about Hunter, I guess I should say he did probably, roll that bus over Hunter a few times. But I do think that the questions he raised about Hunter were extremely fair. I think it's a questions that a lot of us have about Hunter or had about Hunter, and they were extremely fair the way that he did it and the way he presented things. And I also appreciated that whenever he was doing the questioning, he cross-examined every witness that was appropriate to cross-examine, and that he didn't step over boundaries whenever it came to like her friends, for example, and didn't push them in ways that was, gross, if that makes sense. I know you guys know what I'm talking about because we have seen trials where these defense attorneys just go and go and go and go. No matter who the witness is, they don't care about whatever feelings or anything like that. And they just hammer and hammer and hammer. And I don't feel like he did that. I thought he was pretty fair across the board, in my opinion.
It sounds like that's something you're not stopping today.
Absolutely not.
You decided to pull 3 witnesses for this part of the trial. Why did you decide to do that, then? And talk about why you decided to bring Angela up.
As far as today was just witnesses, there are 2 phases of the trial, and all witness testimony has to be relevant. So these witnesses, their testimony wouldn't have been relative to guilt or innocence, but it was relevant to sentencing. Her mom, to her credit, come up here and testified that she wasn't a good mother. And I respect her for that, because that had to be hard to go on TV and take that responsibility, but she did it.
Do you know if Angela Boswell knew that she had Vanessa after her arrest?
I don't know that. I imagine yes.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna double. You guys can go ahead.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can we redo the first part because they were not rolling on it back at the station?
Yeah.
But you guys can go ahead. We'll let them break down and then we'll just
Okay.
start the first couple questions.
So,
Sorry, I was going to ask that off camera for that.
The last trial that we covered, Seal, let me go. Jasmine Pace. Jasmine Pace was our last one. So where are we going next? Let me tell you guys what we're doing next week. Starting this next Monday, and we're gonna start Monday because let me see here. Because the weekend's crazy for me. But starting this next Monday, we are going to be talking about Vanessa Morales. For those of you guys, put a 1 in the chat if you guys have ever heard about Vanessa Morales and Christine Holloway. Very curious. Vanessa is still missing. It's been 5 years. Put a 1 in the chat. If you know who Vanessa is. But that is where we are going next. Justice has been served for Evelyn. We will continue to follow up and watch the sentencing in that case. But this is where we are going next. This is the next trial. And then after this trial, we will have Corey Richon's trial. Vanessa, okay, so you don't know who Vanessa is. You do. So let me show you first who Vanessa is. Let me pull this up real quick. I made this video. Tonight I want to bring you this 3 years ago. So don't judge it too hard. This is me 3 years ago. This is Vanessa. So this video kind of summarizes everything, but this is where we are going next week. Story of Vanessa Morales. Vanessa has been missing since December 2nd of 2019.
from Ansonia, Connecticut. She was just a little bit over 1 year old whenever she went missing. There was an update article on December 2nd reminding us that she still has not been found. Even with the update article, though, social media and other platforms have been rather quiet about her disappearance, so I wanted to bring her face out and show her pictures so that people are reminded to continue to look for her. Police believe
I must have been sick. Like, hear how nasally I sound? Oh my gosh.
that she is still alive and that she could be out there somewhere. They have no evidence to show that she is deceased. Please help to share her story, share her video, and get her name out there. This is an age-enhanced photograph of Vanessa at 2.5 years old. Vanessa would be 3 now as of September. However, this gives us a better idea of what she may look like now. Police released an Amber Alert about Vanessa's disappearance. It simply says, if you have any information on the whereabouts of Vanessa, please contact the Ansonia Police Department at 203-735-1885 or the FBI at 1-800-225-5324. Vanessa was last seen in Ansonia, Connecticut on November 29th. She lived there with her mother, Christine Holloway. On December 2nd, Christine didn't show up for work, and no one was able to get in touch with her. Her concerned boss called the police for a welfare check. They found her body dead in the bathroom. She had been beaten to death, and there was no sign of Vanessa. Vanessa's father has been accused of murdering Christine. Within 2 weeks of her death, he was named the main suspect, and in February, he was arrested and charged with the murder and evidence tampering in her case. He has not been charged in connection with his daughter's disappearance, however. Jose has maintained since 2019 that he was not involved. He denies any involvement, saying that there were 2 men that rushed the bathroom and knocked him out. He was under the influence of PCP at the time, and he had tried to call 911, but there was nothing he could do. The next thing he remembered was driving home to his residence in New Haven, Connecticut. There was a call placed to 911 from Jose's phone at 1:52 p.m. on December 1st. It pinged off the tower 1 street over from Christine's house. During that call, a slurred male voice said Myrtle Avenue, but didn't give an exact address, even after the dispatcher asked multiple times. When the audio recording was enhanced, a female voice could be heard in the background saying, "Stop, hang up, who are you calling?" The call was disconnected a short time later. Was this female voice the person who may have Vanessa?
Since 1-year-old Vanessa Morales disappeared from her home in Ansonia. Police say she was kidnapped the same day her mother, Christine Holloway, was found dead. Tonight, Holloway's family speaking exclusively to News 8's LaSalle Blanks.
Vanessa's family agreeing to speak with News 8 tonight, hoping one of you watching right now can help give them the news they've waited so long to hear.
We are shattered.
Danielle Holloway speaking for a family still in pain. Danielle is Vanessa Morales' aunt. Vanessa's mother, Christine Holloway, was her sister-in-law. Christine was found bludgeoned to death in her home in Ansonia December 2nd of last year. When police got there, little Vanessa nowhere to be found. They say she was kidnapped, missing, all this time.
We're looking every single day for her. I'm sorry. And that we're not going to give up until she's home. Until she's back home with us.
So Danielle has been extremely active, especially on TikTok, sharing information about this case and really trying to find out where Vanessa has been all this time. Um, I'm going to go ahead and post the Facebook group for Vanessa down here in the script or down here in the chat. But this case that we're going to be watching the court hearing for is going to be centered around her mom who was murdered. Vanessa is still missing though. So it's very important that we share her face every single time that we look at this trial and the information coming out about the trial because Vanessa still needs to be found. I'm not sure how different she would look at this point. I mean, she would be 6 years old now. The last age progressed photo would have been at 2 years old. So, I mean, it's really hard to I don't to guess what she would look like now. I hope that they release another age progressed photo, um, so that we could see what she looks like closer to 6 years old.
Vanessa's father, Jose Morales, is the prime suspect in Christine Holloway's murder. He's been behind bars, arrested when police say they found weapons in his home in New Haven. That's against the law because Jose Morales is a convicted felon. Police say Morales has not offered up any information about Christine's murder or what happened to Vanessa.
It was a shock to all of us, to be honest. I mean, sure, I heard from family members who had witnessed Jose being physical with Chrissy, but other than that, he never indicated to any of us that there was an issue.
How hard is it to hear speculation, hear people say this happened or that may have happened when you don't know for sure?
Everyone's going to have a theory about it. I mean, we have theories about it. I'd rather people talk about it in any way, shape, or form to get that talking happening and having more people learn the case.
The legal case against Jose Morales has slowed because of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Danielle hoping by coming forward to News 8, her family can get a holiday miracle this year. You picture that moment when they tell you she's found?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. I want to push myself for Vanessa to know that I did not give up. And I made sure that she was out there. It's in front of everyone's face.
There's a $10,000 reward for Vanessa's safe return, and police have said whoever returns her safely will not face charges. The most important thing to the family is that Vanessa is well and back in their arms. If you think you see a child resembling Vanessa Morales, you're asked to call the Ansonia PD or the FBI immediately. LaSalle Blanks reporting, News 8.
According to neighbors, Jose left Christine's home only about a half an hour before police did the welfare check that found her body. This was actually the second welfare check that they performed that day. Earlier in the evening, whenever they did the welfare check, their body camera footage shows Jose's car near the residence. Had they opened the door earlier that evening, they may have found Vanessa and Jose in the process of trying to clean up the crime scene. Some of Vanessa's belongings have never been found, including her favorite keyring, her blanket with multicolored polka dots, her heather gray diaper bag, and her black Graco car seat. These are the photos of the items that haven't been found. These things lead police to believe that she is still alive because he took all of the necessary items for her care with him when he left that day.
Morales arrived today. Attorney Norm Pattis was by his side. He just represented Fotis Dulos in that murder case. Pattis was called at the last second to be here for the arraignment. It is not clear yet if he is representing Jose Morales. Morales now charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Christine Holloway. She was found dead in her bathtub on December 2nd, beaten to death. Bond was set at $5 million. Morales' legal team tried to get that reduced to $2 million, but that request was denied. The charges Morales is facing are separate from the investigation into the disappearance of their one-year-old daughter, Vanessa Morales, missing for 2 months now. Morales is the prime suspect in her disappearance. Pattis and police both speaking to News 8 about that part of this story.
What do you think about this case, sir?
I've read the warrant. It's deeply disturbing. Our heart goes out to everyone as the search goes on for Vanessa.
We continue to get leads every day. We won't talk about the particular content or veracity of those. We'll continue to follow any lead that we get to see if we can find baby Vanessa and bring her home.
Police releasing the arrest warrant this morning. You can read them on WTNH.com. As for Jose Morales, he will be back in court again on February 18th concerning the murder of his girlfriend, Christine Holloway. In Derby, LaSalle Blank.
I'm not going to go through the gruesome details of Jose's arrest warrant. It's 26 pages long, and they have a lot of evidence on him. I'll link it in the description of this video if you're interested in reading it.
So in the days leading up to court, we are going to go through this arrest warrant. And so we will start going through that this next week. Obviously, because this video that I had made was about Vanessa missing, I didn't feel it was necessary at this point. But that is something that we are going to go down through and get you guys prepped and ready for trial, because we should be able to watch this trial coming up.
The important thing I wanted to point out is that someone noticed that a man was outside messing around with a car seat. They also remembered seeing the little girl standing on the side of the car and immediately recognized her from the Amber Alert. This is great news because we know for sure she left alive that day. The other part I want to highlight is that the owner of the apartment that Christine lived in was downstairs working in the garage. He heard quick footsteps, possibly from a toddler, on December 1st. So again, more evidence pointing to the fact that she was alive. Jose is still awaiting his trial for Christine's murder, and during all this time, he still hasn't discussed Vanessa's whereabouts. So please, share this video, share her story, her mom's face, her face. get the information out there, and help to bring Vanessa home. And wherever you are, Vanessa, Merry Christmas, baby. I hope that you're safe and that somebody is loving you and showing the care and love that you need. Thank you guys again for watching. Please take the time to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that we can continue to propel her case higher into the rankings and beat the YouTube algorithms. Let's share these stories that aren't getting the news coverage and help to keep their faces out there. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to get back to unmute. So that is where we're going though. We are going to watch that trial as it comes. Let me see. So one of the things that happened this past week, or no, past December, not past week. Oh my goodness. He did motion for the courts to not be able to mention Vanessa. He does not want his missing daughter being brought up, and he wants her to stay missing. He does not want her being connected to this murder trial. And I think there's a lot of people who believe that he had a family member come and take Vanessa and that she is out there alive somewhere. The family themselves, we'll talk about that a little bit more next week, but they have been very unhelpful whenever it comes to actually trying to search and look for her. So, just to give you guys a little heads up as to where we're going, if anybody wants to dig into that a little bit deeper as we are getting closer to the trial dates for that, they have jury selection coming up on the 24th of February, and then the trial is supposed to start March 18th. So they have a very large time frame for the jury selection. I'm not entirely sure why it's so large. Um, but they're doing the jury selection also through the superior courts with this case. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little bit different than the setup that we have seen up until this point. Let me see here. Yeah. February 24th to March 18th. But I want to start covering and going through the details and stuff like that in the days leading up because you guys know I can't stream as much as some other people because of my work schedule and also, kid activities and things like that. So just to give you guys a heads up as to where we're heading next. And then in the meantime, we're going to continue to go through the stuff with Madalena Kojakari and Michael Vaughn as well. So, and then Corey Richens also has court coming on. I just had this pulled up. Hold on. Corey Richens. Let's see here. Red Rock, you might actually know. So they are starting to send out their jury papers February 25th. And then they are going to start jury selection mid-April with her trial set to begin April 28th. And so Corey Richens, for those of you guys who don't remember or haven't followed me long enough to know who the heck she is, Corey Richens is the murder mom. She killed her husband, wrote a children's book about it afterwards, and went on, The View and other places promoting her children's book that was all about, grieving her husband and how he watches the kids from heaven and things like that. And she's been accused of allegedly unaliving him. So we've covered a couple different court hearings. She's had a lot more stuff within the past couple months that we have not covered that we need to go back, summarize at least what happened through those processes and get refamiliarized with her case as well in the days leading up to her trial. So, goodness, listen to me. I thought you guys were not talking wait, I don't know. Can I drag us over there? Can you guys see this if I do this? How's this work? Hold on. So I was up here and I thought that I have been talking to myself because I like this did not move at all. And normally it like continuously scrolls. And I thought that I was sitting here talking to my freaking self for the last like whatever. And here you guys are all talking. Hi, let me check the chat and see what all you guys said. I apologize for that. Mm, yeah, we do, Red Rock. We really do settle for the wrong one way too often. Hi, Cooter G. Good to see you. Y'all be sure to tune into Divorce Court. My husband and I will be there because of these trials. Are you trying to say that he's going to divorce you because you're spending too much time on YouTube? That's funny. You're going to get fired from work. No, you won't. Get the doctor to sub. We'll be good. Yes, I can give you her TikTok. Absolutely. Absolutely. Danielle's TikTok. Let me get that for you guys for Vanessa's. Let me see here. I did post the Facebook page, but let me get the TikTok. Nope, that's the tip line. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired, y'all. It's like after not being home for so long and then coming home, like I am just ready to sleep. Okay, here we go. So I just reposted one of her videos. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you'll see the repost. And then here is the link to it here. But she's just simply Danielle Holloway, Danny Mac 23 on TikTok. And so she has a decent following. It definitely needs to be bigger. 78,000 though. She's got a lot. She's got a lot going. Some of her videos have gone very big, but then there are other videos where, it just kind of falls flat sometimes. Oh, sorry. Corey Richins is the trial that I almost got myself in trouble because I was making fun of the lady in the audience's eyebrows with Laurel. The judge in her case has a deep, deep voice. Yes, man. Yeah, I know, right? We got things to talk about. It's alienation of affection. That's funny. That's funny. So, but yeah, so that's what we got going on, just to give you guys an idea of where my head's at. I want to continue. We were starting to go down through Madalena's stuff. I am not going to stop that. We are starting to go down through Michael Vaughn's stuff. I'm going to continue that as well. But I also want to continue to follow up on these cases that we've been covering. I mean, we've been covering. I Vanessa Morales videos were 3 years ago. And again, let's see, I did it twice. Couple different times on like in addition to other things that I was covering, but 2 videos specifically on her. Uh, So, it's so hard. I gotta keep going back and, like, searching for their stuff and unprivating it because I privated so many freaking things. And I know why I did it, but it's still just, ugh. Yeah, so we are gonna deep dive Christine Holloway completely. We're gonna go down through the documents, we're gonna do all the things. So, if you guys are not familiar with that one, we will be caught up before court. Period. We will be going down through all the things with that one. So so she's not from his family. She is Christine's sister. But she's been the vocal one from the family looking for Vanessa, whereas his family does not want to talk about Vanessa, doesn't want to bring anything up, and I really think possibly could know where baby Vanessa is. Um, there was some type of female voice in the car. And so who that could have been, I don't know. I don't know. People speculate his mom. It's hard to say. I don't want to like be like they have her hidden there for sure because we really don't know. Um, but all signs point to the fact that this baby is likely still alive out there. And I think if she was not still alive out there, that he would not be worried about them mentioning her name during trial. I think he does not want her name brought up during trial because he does not want people to continue to look for his daughter. Period. That's it, that's all. He wants her to be able to live with whoever she is living with, wherever she is, and not be noticed, not be found. And that's the problem with the photo not being updated and not the photo not being updated since 2 years old because you know how much a baby's face changes from 2 to 6? I mean, the whole structure the whole structure changes depending on how fat or skinny or how much baby weight she still has, like all the things. So, but that's her. You just tuned in. When is Corey's trial? April 28th, I think I said. Yeah, April 28th. So what should end up happening is we'll probably be in Vanessa's trial leading up to Corey Richens' trial. I keep saying Vanessa's trial. It's not Vanessa's trial. It's her mom, Christine Holloway's trial. But Vanessa is still missing. So it's okay. How do you keep removing your comments? I don't know. So that's where we're at. That is where we're at. I gotta go to sleep. I'm gonna start talking funny. I'm gonna sound like Cater G from the South in a minute. From the North, I mean. From wherever she's from. I need to go to bed. So, yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And I will be on tomorrow. I don't know when. Probably towards the night. I gotta check on Lokamai, y'all, because she's not even texted me back. I messaged her I wanna say Monday? Well, I messaged her 3 days ago. So what was that? Yeah, so Monday. So Monday I messaged her and she's not got back to me. She's not even read it. So I don't know. I know she's been crazy busy. She's got a lot of stuff going on. But if she ain't coming back, I'm gonna be swooping in on her time spot. I'm just gonna tell you, I'll probably be live around this time more often. Um, because this time is more convenient for me. So y'all might see me some nights coming through here because Locum done abandoned us. So all right, I'm going to bed. I will talk to you guys later. I know. I think she is okay because it's not like her. You're absolutely right. Um, but she's not even been on Discord. Like she's been, but like I said, I know she had family coming in. I know she had stuff going on with her dog. I know she had a new like her job went from like more part time to more full time. Like she had a lot of crazy coming up and doing all the things, and so yeah. I mean, she's got it all going on. So, she has. She's been super, super busy. I know, she is. She's absolutely adorable. Sleep and stream is the new thing. Is that what I should do? Yeah, I will. I'll let you know. I'll let you know for sure. So what happened was, like, I used to do nighttime streams a lot, and then because of her timeline, like, I kinda switched more towards the day and let her kinda take the nights, and, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, alright, I'm going to bed. I'm actually going this time. Bye.